Hey Besiegers, how you doing today? Okay, we've got this strange looking beast for you today. And what it is the beginnings of a spiral or helix fed steam cannon. I just wanted to use the sort of gravity feed thing again and to see what I could get away with. Now the reason it's green is because the bombs are all highlighted there by a mod, and then you click it off and away they go. Now in this part of the development, it went down really smoothly. Nothing stopped them. They went all the way down themselves. But when I put it on the ground and braced it all up, it sort of stuck a couple of times. So I had to put some shaky devices on to keep it going. But generally, it worked pretty well, as you will see. The intention was for a more long-range machine, so that I could take pot shots at things in the distance. But I mean, I tried it out at first, obviously, on the statue and on the tower, as we always do, and it worked quite well at that from a good distance. But I wanted to bring something else in, and as chance would have it, another mod came along today. In fact, just the day that I'm putting this up, another mod came along, and it allowed me to bring other machines in within seconds. Not unlike in the past where I've used the BSG make tool to bring other machines in, this one is literally instantaneous, as you're about to see. So I brought one of my old tanks in again so that I could pelt that with bombs, because that was good fun the last time. I enjoy watching them come apart because there's so many parts in it. Here we go, look, here's the mod. It's actually embedded in the menu up there. And you just select one thing, select your whole machine, go select your other machine that you want to bring in, and that's it. While I was describing that to you there, literally in 2 or 3 seconds you can do it. It's by the guys you despise. It just came out today, and I will do a full lowdown on it in my next video, but because it's so new, I can only just sort of introduce you to it. But I'll put a link in my description, and I urge you to give it a try. It's a great mod. And the guys you despise, the one person in particular is an actual Spiderling dev, so they know what they're doing. Hey, okay, right, it's time for the semi-finals and the finals of the battlebots. Remember, we did the first round a couple of weeks ago. FBsoldier here on the left with his Caterpillar tank-based machine up against Algae, who had, as you see, the spider-like machine with a big front projectile defense mechanism, or offense mechanism, whatever you want, on the front of it. So we'll have these two guys go each other first, and we'll have the next round after that, and we'll have the finals. Now, as you can see, they're about the same height and about the same size and weight. You would expect the Caterpillar one to be able to push it back quite easily, but it's really surprising how much power he can get out of those steering blocks with his little spider formation, because he's put up a good fight there, and that's without him firing his primary weapon. Remember, we always do this, we just get them banging into each other and then the weapons come out. So I've got FB in a spin there with that one, but no damage done. All I did was spin him around. But overall, once I put them together a good few times, that front weapon did start to make its mark, and the tracks did start to come off, and poor old FB, he didn't have a response to that, because all he's got is his flipper at the front to constantly try and upend the spider, but the spider's got a sort of self-rating bar in it, as you can see. Algae's machine's kind of good, and the spider itself, again, it's got immense power that it can crush that Caterpillar up against the side of the barrier, and then, as you will see, practically knock it right through it, just using the speed from those steering blocks. So that's pretty astonishing. Didn't all go the spider's way. FB got right in there deep a couple of times, but he couldn't quite, get the finish on it. He couldn't get close enough to causing any damage, so in the end it really did start to go Algae's way. It was a good battle, two good machines. It was good watching them go at it like this, and they're quite different in their approach to what they think a battlebot should be. I think all the contestants were like that. They're all completely different. It's slowed down. You'll see the devastating effect of that front attack. It just mashes right into it, and the momentum just keeps going, carries them all the way across the arena and right into the ropes. Bang. That's hard to deal with. Yeah, that is hard to deal with. And there you have it. Another little go at it from the front here, and then you can actually see them eating right all the way through it and coming out the other side. So a very effective weapon. A very effective weapon indeed. And so he's lying there and he comes in for the kill. Victory flames go up and Algae goes through to the final with his spiderbot. Spiderbot does. There we go. Okay, on to the next one. Right, in the next we have Neutex with his very, very low slung machine, if you remember, the balloons that was similar to the original ITR machine. And then the guy who knocked ITR out, which is Cetz, who builds the fast little buggies with the cool suspension on them. So he is on the opposite side. Now these are two completely different machines. One slithers about on the deck, this one here very low profile, teeming with weapons and all sorts of strange things sticking out of it. Another one is fast, it's furious, it's got the two missiles on it, not even missiles, they're just spinning blocks. And that's it, he's relying on everything else to keep him going. So it comes in really fast, smacks right into it and loses a couple of wheels right away. So there you go, but again he's got the power and the agility, but there's just nothing there. There's on the front, as we know, you see one of the wheels comes off, catches the sticky brace weapons. Those sticky braces are really quite bad. Once they get a hold of you, obviously there's not a lot you can do to get rid of them. So here he goes, he tries firing his drills at him, and it has some effect. It does knock a couple of pieces off, but because he's so low profile, and because he's all metal, and because it's so well made, it withstands it easily, and then goes on the offensive itself. So there you go. Cetz comes in for another quick bite. Unfortunately, as you've seen there, the drill which he had just emitted a minute ago has gone off to one side, caught fire, and then come back and give him the fire to him. So you don't get much more bad luck than that. That's life giving you lemons. So here we go. That's Neutex's forward weapons, and they're nothing great. His real strengths were in these strange braces and the grabbers and the projectiles. So that we had this situation quite a lot. You know, once Neutex has expended all his weapons, he can get rid of them. So that he's just got that little, very fast-moving cart in the middle, and you can then whiz about and punish his opponent by pushing him into the barriers and doing all sorts of things that way. That was an easy one, I think, for Neutex. It was always going to be, but it was a good machine that Cetz had put up. It really was. It's more what I would think would be the proper kind of battlebot, something that's fast on its feet. Just needed more weapons and a bit more defensive mechanisms in it. So there you go, Neutex v Algae in the final. Whoa. Okay, the grand final of BattleBots and Besiege, and we have Neutex v Algae, and as you can see, two similar machines this time. Similar in that they're both fairly low profile, they're very rigid, very metallic. The difference being Algae uses this very offensive projectile system, and Neutex, as you now know, uses the stickies and the grabbers and everything else. Now the power of those projectiles against Neutex looked quite effective, but because he can get rid of all his external his weapons and bits and pieces, it didn't really have that much of effect, and being low profile, a lot of the energy just goes right over the top of him. So he did get, from the get-go, he had Algae on the ropes quite a few times. Algae, similarly, he didn't do too bad. He managed to get his own back a few times. And but again, because once he's fired his projectiles, that's it. He's got no weapons other than the saw. there's part of Neutex's machine off doing its own thing there. And it looked like he was about to get him here, and he just skittered off. Okay, you can blame me for that one, driver error, and he hits the barriers. But it was difficult to get him into an attacking position after he had fired his weapons. They had a couple of good set twos. It was a good final, and didn't seem to matter where he fired those things from, whether from close or from far. It was always having the same effect, you know. It would strip off a couple of pieces, but there would be an awful lot of them left. And then the other thing is, Neutex had this great ability to turn round. You know, if he's used all his former weapons, to turn round and use the weapons on the rear, which are just as deadly. You know, they're just as bad. because these just stick right onto you and then blow you away. Plus he's got this double grabber thing here, which will have limited use, but this time he turns around and he's got all these strings and wires and springs. And while Algae's on the ropes, he goes in and he just ties him up with braces, and it's like a spider getting caught up in somebody else's web, as you can see. It's just, he's got no escape there. So that was a kind of fitting end to it, as you can see. And for Algae, and Neutex has become the new champion, and there he is, the winner. So that'll be the end of BattleBots in this format. I'm going to carry on doing it later on, but it will be a different format altogether. It will be winner stays on, knockout. So I will pick 2 or 3 people for the first bout, and then the winner, whoever wins the most out of those ones, will carry on to the following weeks, and then people will put machines up against the winner, and you just stay on if you're good enough, and that's as simple as that. Also, the big rule change is going to be 100% vanilla. Yeah? Initially there's going to be no mods, no angles, no nothing allowed. Just wanted to see, and there will be a limit of 150 blocks up the way and 100 blocks down the way. So you must stay within a 100 to 150 block usage. You can't go any lower and you can't go any higher. So if you want to start building the machines now, I will start having a look and see who builds what. And I will have the first bout in a couple of weeks. It'll be a lot easier to do now with this new mod that allows me to bring in other machines. And it'll be easier for you to test your machines by using that mod. You can test it against other people's. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you very soon. Cheers, bye.